Oh, there he is. That's a good one. Whatever it is, that's a good one. That's a good fish right there. Hey, good morning, folks. Bradley Cross here, BJC Outdoors. Hey, we're down here on the Tennessee River this morning. Up here by a dam, we're gonna do a little drifting some live bait, man. I hadn't done that in a long time. Don't get to do it very often, but I tell you what, man, I love to do it. When I do get the opportunity, I definitely take advantage of it. It's that time, you know, for the bite to get good, you know, around these dams. No matter what you're fishing for, catfish, stripe, bass, anything, man. It's time. It's getting close to fall. It's just hot this week. It's in the mid 90s. And it's kind of crazy because 2 weeks ago it was in the high 40s for a couple nights. So, what we're gonna do, man, I've got some thread fin and gizzard shad in my bait tank there. I got some, you know, anywhere from 2 inches to 4 inches. That's what we're gonna use. I kind of struggled to catch bait this morning. I mean, I caught plenty of bait, but I got the wrong size. I'm looking for bigger ones, and I did get some bigger ones finally, but it took me forever to find any good size ones. But, what we're gonna do, man, let me get this sun out of the camera. What we're gonna do, pull up here to the dam, what I call the boils, where the water comes under the dams and it's boiling up. We're gonna pull up pretty close to them, and then we're just gonna drift back, man, and see if we can't hook into something big, something small, something good, something bad. We're gonna hook into something, I guarantee you. We're gonna catch a fish. It's just one of the easiest ways to catch fish, and if you want to catch a lot of fish, there's not an easier way to do it than right here, what we're fixing to do. So, I'm excited about it, man. Y'all stay tuned. We'll get us one of these old thread fin out of here, and I'll show y'all what we're doing. That's the size I'm using right there. They're about 4 to 5 inches. That narrow's only got a half a tail. I don't know how he's gonna do. But what I do, I hook them right through the bottom lip. Well, you can see that little bitty hook right there. That's a number 4 Kahle hook. Tiny hook, man. But that little hook right there has put me many of PBs in the boat. Most of the PBs I've caught in my life came from doing this right here, other than catfish. So that's what you got. Got a little tiny split shot on there. Just get it on the bottom. Make sure you dump your net out. Don't leave it sitting there. Your bait will die on you. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pull us over here in this current, and we're just gonna drift down through here, man, and do what we can do. I apologize for the sun being in the camera. I'm not used to doing this, but it's one of my favorite things to do, man. You catch a lot of fish doing this, and you don't really never know what you're gonna catch. They don't have real good current on right now, and they may not have, you know, during the time that we're out here. But these fish sit up and they feed regardless, but the current kind of gives you a little better boat control. And I apologize for the racket. I got my bait tank going and I got my motor running, so I don't know what y'all can hear of it. But yeah, I just pitch it out there, and you know, if you start dragging bottom, reel it up a little bit. If you're not touching bottom, drop it down a little bit. You gotta make that bottom contact to really be in the zone where the fish are. But they're sitting down there in them rocks, you know, just ambushing. That's what they're doing. I've caught some big fish doing this, man. Like I said, I caught a 10-1 largemouth, a 9-15 largemouth, and a 9-11 largemouth doing this. And my biggest smallmouth doing this was 7 pounds. I've caught blues 30, 40 pounds. Lost some bigger than that because, of course, I'm using light tackle. This is a medium rod with 15-pound fluorocarbon. You know, you can only do so much. Main thing, if you get into one that, you know, bigger than 20, 30, 40 pounds, they usually spool you because you just can't do nothing with them. You can't get, because these reels don't hold a lot of line. But it sure is fun when you hook into one. You'll catch big saltwater. I caught my biggest saltwater stripe. Some people call them rockfish, rock bass, hybrids, pretty much everything other than a catfish. My biggest fish ever come off of this method right here. you eventually find the right drift and the right area where the fish are, and that's kind of like anything else. You know, it takes a little time to figure them out and find what they want, or find where they're at. Because no doubt in my mind, they're gonna eat that threadfin if you put it in front of them. But they sit up different when this current's on, low like this. When it's on pretty high, it's very intense, real fast. You're catching something every drift, sometimes 2 or 3 fish per drift, and that gets exciting, man. Oh, there we go. There we go. I don't know what it is. That's a good one though. It's no telling. No telling. It feels more like a catfish or a drum. But you will catch some drum up here for sure. And that's exactly what it is. Old Gasper Goo. I ain't gonna let you, son. I ain't gonna let you. Yeah, old Gasper Goo, y'all. You will definitely catch some of these. I don't think there's nowhere in the river you can go and do this and not catch some old drum. Ain't a bad one though. A lot of times some of the most unpredictable, unexpected spots is the best place to fish. And today we got that crazy current. Like right out there, 30 yards, it's running down river. Right here, it's running back toward the dam. So we're gonna try to drift this part right here. Oh, I know there's fish here, but what kind of fish is the next question. I got my old little bass net right here, folks. There's been a lot of money come through that old net. Me and my daughter fished bass tournaments. We used that net for 10 years, and there's been a lot of fish to come through it. Uh-oh. Think I'm getting the bite. Oh, there we go. Yep. I believe that's going to be a smallmouth. You don't never forget how them things feel. I ain't 100% sure though. Boy, I tell you what, it's fun, folks, on this medium tackle. I don't know, he ain't no little one. Definitely ain't no little one. He's still fighting like a smallmouth. Still fighting like a smallmouth. Yeah, he's a smallmouth fight. Another smallmouth drum. Or somebody wants to come have some fun, you can, like I said, you're gonna catch the fish. The species you're after is a different story, because like I said, everything out here eats what I'm using. Nice old Gasper Goo, y'all. You have to be careful around these dams too, because you get in this rough water, man. Like right now, you could take one over the back of the boat trying to back in this current, but you also got to watch and not get on these rocks. Ain't that fun though, folks? Like I said, you don't never know what you're gonna catch, but sometimes you can get into some good fish. There you. There you. It almost feels like the same species, just a little smaller. They fun though, folks. Like I said, they ain't. A lot of folks call them old trash fish, but to me they're fun when they catch, and that right there would be a good size one to use for some catfish bait. If I didn't have a freezer full, he would be going in the cooler for sure. There'd be times I wish I'd kept him. Right now I got plenty of bait for catfish. So. Hey. I tell you what, folks, them little old KO hooks are bad to the bone. You hook up with anything with them, they ain't coming off. Another little one, like I said, that'd be a good bait size one right there if I was needing bait. Let's put us on another one. We'll try to. I'm pretty sure that one that bit a while ago was not a drum. I think it was a little bit better than that. I'm gonna pull us back up, get us another one, pull us back up. We'll drift back through there and see if we can't get another bite and figure out what that first one was. Alright, folks, let me see if I can get us in around these boats here and get us drifting again. Pretty shallow where I'm doing this at, you know, it's 10 foot, but you'll go across some holes every now and then, 12, 14 foot deep. And if you can get your bait down in them holes, you usually catch something. But you run across rock piles, you know, it's just nothing consistent at all as far as depth, but that inconsistent is where the fish are, you know. I was hoping they'd have some better water on, we could catch something a little more exciting, but you gotta take what you can get, and right now that's all we can get. Now if I came down here trying to bump or walk baits, they would be changing that water left and right, but since I'm down here needing them to kind of change it up a little bit, because you know when they're changing it doing this, that's a good thing. It gets the fish moving around. But when I need them not to mess with it, they will. When I need them to mess with it, they won't. There ought to be some fish on them power line pilings right there. I want to spot lock around it and fish it thoroughly, but you see all them birds up there, and I know what's gonna happen if I try it. I'm surprised they ain't already got me. Oh, there we go. That may be, that's probably gonna be a bass right there. Smallmouth, cause he just about come out of the water. Yep, that's a smallmouth there. Yep, that's a smallmouth there. No, it ain't either. Another old Gasper goose. Man, them things are loaded, and they mean too. Mean too. I'm finna have to pull over here and get off of these boats. Another old Gasper goose, yo. I'm gonna try down low here and see. It's a little deeper. Don't have as much current, but just see. Usually when the current's low, the fish usually congregate toward the dam because that's the strongest current is up by the dam. But we're gonna give it a try down here since everywhere else seems to be mainly a drum deal. You never know. There's fish all over down here. You know, it's just finding the active fish is the thing. And like I said, from what I've seen, most of the time the active fish are up closer to the dam in the lower current because that is the strongest current. And then when if the current's amped up and pretty stout, they'll be down low, down this way. Ooh, he's getting. Oh, yeah, there he is. Yep, that's a good fish right there. I would say, in a heartbeat that this is a smallmouth, but I've said that I know at least twice it's been a drum, so we're not gonna say it this time, and I still think it's gonna be a drum. That's all right, man. They think, hey, they fun. They are absolutely fun. Catching them good bait size ones though, that's a good deal, because I've usually catch them old big ones. I just don't never have any luck with them big ones when it comes to catfish bait. But you better not bite my bait when I ain't got bait, son, or you end up in my freezer. All right, bud. People kill those fish all the time, folks. They'll catch them, knock them in the head, and throw them back in the water. But I'm not one of them. Oh, there he, oh man, y'all see that hit? Ain't no way that was a drum. That was fast bite, like one of them old bronze fish. I guess I'll put this little one on there. I'm getting kind of down to the end of my bait here. That's the reason I saved all of them, because that size right there will work, but you tend to catch a lot of smaller fish on them. That's okay today. Folks, I apologize if that thing is loud, because like I said, I don't do this very often, but I learn from my mistakes. Oh, there he is. That's a good one. Whatever it is, that's a good one. That's a good fish right there. My goodness gracious, he pulling drag like crazy. I kind of almost bet what it is. They sure are fun. I don't care what they are. These medium rods, man. Yep, another little drum. This whole rig right here, folks, I bought at Walmart. I got 2 of them because one of them never good just to bring one, because if something happens to that one, you're pretty much done. So I always bring 2 rigs, and so I bought me 2 just for this. And well, not just for this, but anything that I do for mediums, I need a medium. But that old drum, y'all. Them things are everywhere. This river's loaded with that fish. I mean, anywhere you go. They can be a, you know, like I said, they're fun to catch, but they can be a nuisance sometimes, because especially if you're trying to catch, you know, if you're trying to target something. Like today, we're not targeting that, so. They get big. They get big here. Now those are not, them are not big at all. But they do get big here. I have went and targeted drum, Gasper goo, whatever you want to call them. In a tough part of the year, couldn't catch anything else because they're absolutely blast to catch. And some people eat them. I got a buddy, he said he ate them. He said it wasn't bad. So, you know, they're not just a trash fish. I mean, I've never ate them. Don't know anybody here that ate them, but my buddy that actually ate that one, he can cook about anything and make it taste good. So that's probably why it was good to him. But I would try it, you know, just to see. But it's definitely not a sought after fish here as far as eating. I don't know what that is. It's definitely not fighting the same. They'll fool you though, man. Them things, they used to not fight like that. I think that just over the years they got tired of being treated like trash, that they started fighting like bass. And you know, because they get a bass fisherman excited in a heartbeat. It did. Used to me. I'd fish tournaments, man. I think I had on a big monster smallmouth and get him up to the boat with a big old drum and just break your heart. And I think that's why they just, you know, they got treated so bad over the years that they getting back at folks. Which for me, you know, now I could care less because I'm not a bass fisherman, you know, where I don't tournament fish anymore. They're nice fish though, folks. I don't know if for y'all that ain't never seen one, they're kind of ugly, you know. Oh, ugly head, ugly mouth, ugly skin. They just, nothing pretty about them. But I'll take them. I appreciate you, buddy. When the river's full of them, you got to take what you can get. He stroked out on me back there. They do that sometimes. I don't know why. He'll get his breath in a minute, but they'll float up there like they're getting them a suntan, and all of a sudden they'll take off. But y'all seen, I didn't mistreat that fish. I was nice to him. Did he go? Oh yeah, he took off then. Like I said, I don't know why they do that. It's like they lay there like they're asleep. And then all of a sudden, boom, they're gone. I was kind of debating this morning. I wanted to go catch some crappie. I cooked some crappie night before last, and There he is. And then then I realized it was my last pack of crappie. I told my wife, I said, I gotta go get us some fish. Now that right there is a bait size now. Show you. Matter of fact, I think I'm gonna put him in the bait tank because that's perfect size right there for some bait. He'll help eat up my shiners I got left. I ain't got many left. I got enough bait in there now for a good fishing trip. I got some three big gizzard shad, and then I got that drum. So we're good on bait for a little while. Well, I got plenty of bait in the fridge, you know, good fresh skipjack, but I just can't, you know, I caught them big gizzards in my net. I just can't throw them back, man, because I know I can use them. So I got those gizzards in that drum. That's an anchor trip for me, you know. These drum, and they're hard fighting, fun fish to catch. And like I said, I don't target them anymore. I did target them on the bank, like I said one time when the fishing was tough, way before I started YouTube, and I had an absolute blast. I was catching them every cast, and I enjoyed it, man. But my goodness, it's a skipjack. Oop, there we go. Now that's not running like one, but it could be. Like I said, they have learned over the years how to trick people. He's coming up though. Yeah. See, he thought he was acting like a smallmouth. He come up, he's fixing to bust. I mean, he's fixing to come out of the water just like that. I mean, that's just, they've been down here and watched these bass fishermen all these years, and I think they made a deal with the bass. Try to trick the anglers, because there's a ton, I mean an absolute ton of bass fishermen in this area, and tournaments every weekend. Oh, ugly thing, man. Ugly. Well, thank you, buddy. I probably shouldn't call them ugly like that, folks. That's not very nice, but some of y'all would understand. They may be ugly, but they making the day pretty, because that's all we catch. But they would be an absolute blast, folks, to bring your kids down here. I used to do it, you know, I used to catch a lot of them when I used to guide. Of course, I was targeting trophy smallmouth, but we'd still get into these drum, and you know, for people that don't get to fish a lot, or even people that do, but just enjoy catching, they're just a fun fish to catch. And probably, I would say, probably one of the easiest fish to catch in the river, other than bluegill. They're probably one of the easiest fish in the river to catch. They'll hit about anything, worms, any kind of live bait, any kind of shad, artificial bait. One of the funnest fish to catch, but one of the less targeted fish in my area. And I don't know any area where people actually target them. They may in other countries. I don't even know if they have them in other countries. But we definitely get loaded with them here. Alright, folks, I'm going to pitch this one out there and see if we can get us a good one before we leave. Might be another old drum, but we'll take another good old drum. Oop, oop, there he is. Don't know what it is. But if I had to guess, I would probably be right. Yep. Well, I'm shocked, folks, to be honest with you, that this is all we caught. But like I said, it's probably one of the most populated fish in this river. Like I said, it definitely easy to catch. So. Boy, you jacked yourself. Oh, look, you wouldn't come off there. I don't care what happened, you wasn't coming off there. One thing for sure, if you're using them tails, you better get you some pliers. Another old drum.